Hello, everybody. Good morning. Happy Monday. As much as I could say it was a victory, or at least a back into the playoffs victory, Monday it is not. But we have our Monday morning quarterback show with Jay Fiedler. How are you, Jay?
I'm doing good today. How are you? Happy
I'm
New Year.
Happy New Year as well, Jay. Thank you very much. I'm doing okay. Hope your New Year started off well. But honestly, the future's bright for the Miami Dolphins, and that's really all that matters. We're going to talk on why Tua needs some work, but we do realize the help is on the way. We are going to be an optimistic show, and we're also going to be an appreciative show. And on my end, I want to thank everybody out there for joining Jay and I 2 days a week, the Monday show, the midweek, all 22. We've had a terrific time. I've had a great time, Jay. I want to thank you. And we're not done. We'll be back, obviously not twice a week, but we'll be back here in the offseason doing some scouting work. I believe there's some college prospects out there that the Dolphins will be interested in. So, Jay, before we get into the tape, anything you want to say to the listeners out there?
Well, yeah, I mean, same thing. I had a lot of fun, covering the Dolphins and watching Tua, especially. I know we started the show right after Tua got in there and covered him through, much of the season. And, it's been great to be able to watch and analyze and see everything that's been going on and see the development that's happening. And like you said, see a lot of positives. There are a ton of positives out there. They're a 10-16. They didn't make the playoffs, but they won 10 games this year. The last time that happened, I think, was in 2003 with me. Winning 10 games and not making the playoffs. There's a lot of positives to come out of it, but definitely still a sour taste and a taste that you want to be sour going into the off season. There's a lot of things that both Tua and the rest of the team need to work on. Ton of strength on defense. Tremendous season all year long on defense, notwithstanding this weekend's game, yesterday's game against Buffalo. But I think they just ran into a juggernaut team and, probably the hottest team in the NFL right now with the Buffalo Bills and what they've been doing over the past few weeks. And then offensively, there was, signs of positive play, and then they struggled at times, and there's a lot of things that I want to talk about in terms of off-season development that Tua needs to continue work on. And I think the first thing, and I'll show you right here on this play, is just his pre-snap reads and understanding. And this is rookie, this is stuff that happens with any rookie coming into the league. Understanding different defensive schemes, seeing the defensive schemes, understanding your protections, where they are, where you're vulnerable, how you could help yourself, with adjusting your protection. And that's been a theme, of ours for a few weeks now. But now Tua's got a full off season. He could go back in, look at all the film. He could watch. He could study as much as he wants. He get a few games on his screen every day, every week. Cover a different team, cover a different scheme, a different offense, a different defense, and look at what he needs to continue to see. So this is the first play. The first quarter. They were driving down. I think they just got the turnover earlier, and they were driving down in positive territory. And it's 3rd and 5 right here. And Buffalo actually did a really good disguise right here. Okay, so they brought down 2 linebackers over here on the right side of the defense, left side of the offense. All right, and right now, okay, the center's looking over here. He sees 1, 2, 3 in vulnerable position. Okay, so he's directing the offensive line, okay, to slide to these 3 defenders. Okay, now you got 1, 2, 3 defenders up here, okay, with only 2 linemen to protect because you're in an empty set. You don't have an extra back in the backfield. Okay, now what does Buffalo do? Okay, they do a great disguise. They end up bringing this linebacker, dropping these two linebackers back to the middle, okay, to look for that quick slant, um, against the blitz. Okay, this linebacker comes free. Tua didn't see it right away, and they end up taking a sack. It didn't kill him because they end up kicking the field goal. Okay, but these are things that he could have, if he's seen it, whether I wouldn't have redirected the line pre-snap anyway because of the way they disguised it. They did a really good job, Buffalo did, in disguising that. But you got to know once the protection's set to the left side over here that you got to be hot. You got to have an answer for when this guy comes. Okay, so we'll just fast forward it. Hold on one second. Let me just take the sound off real quick. Okay, and you can see right now, all right, just right before the snap, this linebacker's coming in. Okay, and they're still disguising like maybe they're going to be, coming with everyone. Okay, obviously someone has to peel off for this third receiver up top. Okay, whether they do it with sometimes they could do it with a defensive lineman that just stands up. Okay, it doesn't look like they're doing it here. So one of these backers, whether it's here, or here, has got to come off. Okay, to account for that number 3. All right, now what they end up doing, they drop both these linebackers from the weak side back in here. The middle linebacker squares up. He ends up really taking Gesicki and man-to-man. Okay, if Gesicki would have went out, he would have ran all the way with him. They're man across the board with an extra spy here. Okay, so they're only they're only rushing 4, but because they disguised it and because the protection was set to come to the left, right now they got 4 offensive linemen on 2 defenders and 1 guy caught in the middle. Okay, now Hunt was right. He should stay on that guy out here. And this linebacker blitzing, that's Tua's guy. Okay, and Tua's got to see that. He's got to, see that happening. And right now, whether it's retreat away from pressure and throw it to the quick out over here to Ford, or, okay, look into the pressure and throw a quick slant over here to Bowden, because Gesicki gets caught up on the quick hot. You have that number 2 slant right behind it, and you'll see it actually from the next camera view, that he does have it if he could just stick his foot in the ground, see it, and hit Bowden coming right out of his break. Okay, so we'll just go forward real quick. Here you go. And right now, okay, you can see Gesicki is caught up with this linebacker. You don't want to throw him right into pressure here, okay? But if Tua sees this linebacker and can stick his foot in the ground, maybe even take that hit, look him straight in the eye, take that hit, but get rid of it. You got a quick twitch guy, Bowden, who's making a nice cut on his defender, and right there, okay, you can nail him. It falls out before that linebacker gets here. You can nail him here, or the other escape route for Tua is you see a free man coming on this side, escape out to the left. You like to get on the run to the left, okay, and you got a quick out to the boundary on that side. At worst, you throw it away. If this guy peels off and your guy's covered, you throw it away, but you don't take that sack for 9 yards. If you could see that on the pre-snap. Now, these are things, again, there's a great disguise by Buffalo. It probably would have gotten a lot of quarterbacks, that wouldn't have seen it. Okay, but you always have to have an answer when you don't, when you can't do it pre-snap and readjust your protection to cover it. Okay, you got to know where that hot guy's coming from and be able to have an answer for it.
Where you froze it, Jay, it's, you could see Bowden have that, there's not a ton of separation there, but if Tua's kind of frozen, he's already kind of resorted to the fact of taking that sack. Whereas if you're going to just, let it rip, get a quick throw, maybe it's incomplete pass, maybe it falls a little short, but, like you said, didn't kill him with the field goal, but yes, something to work on.
Yeah, and again, I mean, these are mistakes that are correctable. These are easy mistakes to go in, and spend your off season now. Okay, starting to understand defense, starting to look at disguises, starting to see. All right, Buffalo likes these schemes. These are the things that they do. Okay, these are the things that come up, game in and game out for them, and then these are, some of the other schemes that they do, one off. Okay, so the ones that repeat themselves all the time, those are the ones that you got to start recognizing. Okay, this is a team you're going to play twice a year. Okay, start seeing exactly how they like to attack you, how they like to get after you, and start having an answer for it. Okay, and that's going to come from film study throughout the off season. All right, so he's going to have to spend the majority of his time with in-league games. Obviously, you got 6 of your games each year against your league opponents, but he's also got to start studying ahead for teams that are on the schedule next year as well.
And there are some difficult games ahead. I mean, they obviously announced the opponents, not when they're going to be played. But yeah, while this team has a lot of bright future games and matchups ahead, they have to add those playmakers, which they will. And Tua is going to have a long offseason of strengthening his game, strengthening his body and mind. And I have the utmost confidence that he's going to do it, Jay.
Yeah, I do too. He's a guy that loves to work. That is going to put the time in. He's going to be there. Every day. I'm not worried about him going out to the clubs and spending an off season partying it up. I think he's going to be a guy who he'll be the first guy to be there in the off season, ready to go. Ready to study film, ready to work on his craft, ready to continue again, like we talked about, getting his flexibility back throughout his core and his hip area, continue to strengthen himself, continue to work on, physical side of his game as well as the mental side of his game.
Both will improve. This is a young rookie, lot of career ahead. And you're going to take us to a play. I mean, look, there were turnovers, but that's going to happen. So why don't we break down the next play here a bit later in the game?
Yeah, well, look, like you said, I mean, this is a game that, he hadn't been in this situation, yet this season. Okay, he hasn't had to come back from behind. Okay, many of the games that he's been in, they've gotten out to leads. They've held the leads. They've been able to play with conservative play calling and conservative decision making. By Tua. That's why his interception rate, had been so low prior to this game. Okay, but there are times that you got to, get that aggressiveness up a little bit. And here it is. You're down 22 points. It's you're getting towards the end of the third quarter. You got to take some chances. You got to start pushing the ball downfield. Okay. I'm not sure what they would have done if Fitzy was available for this game. How it would have played out if they would have brought him in to try and create that spark. When they might have done that in this game, before it got out of hand. But you see here, I mean, this is not a good look. 0 for 10 third down conversions this game. Okay, not very good. Here it is, 3rd and 7. Okay, and this is another issue that Tua needs to work on. Okay, and it's his timing at times is just a little bit off, all right, with his receivers. Okay, so his footwork isn't always on time with his receivers. Sometimes that happens. Okay, a receiver gets knocked off his route. Okay, and has to adjust a little bit. But those are the things also that he's going to have to work on with his receivers through the off season. Okay, and those are the things that in addition to film study, he's got to get with his receivers in the offseason, start running routes. What are we doing on this adjustment? If you get press man, okay, and you have to, maybe not get your full depth, okay, but understand the timing of the route, how it matches up with me, okay, and that's, where these mistakes may get corrected, okay, and you can see right here. Okay, Bowden again coming on an in route. Okay, ends up beating his man. Okay, but Tua kind of takes an extra hitch in the pocket right there. Okay, and he wasn't, he didn't feel comfortable enough to pull the trigger on that first hitch right on time, okay, and hit him right out of his break. He had to wait for that second hitch, and his anticipation wasn't, 100%. All right. And he wasn't trusting 100% that he was going to win over here. And those are the things that, the QB receiver dynamic has to continue to work on. So that second little hitch, in his step, forces that ball to end up going high on him. Okay, he wasn't in perfect timing, perfect anticipation. Ball goes high. Okay, and again, real tough catch. Possible by Bowden. Okay, but that's on Tua right there. He's got to get that ball down in his belly. Coming on an inside break like that.
Is that a confidence, maybe mental situation there? The hitch, there's a little nervousness there, or how do you? Right there, it's like,
yep.
It's almost like, and you mentioned Fitz. I mean, he's not there. He's not available. So as a guy who knows he can't get pulled, that to me was a little, wish you just said, what the heck? But there was that nervousness there.
Well, I don't know if that was nervousness or anything. It's just, not having the trust in Bowden to win that. And, you saw that, when Fitz came in, he had the third down last week where he hit Ford coming out on an out route, kind of laid it out to him. Okay. Now, if you look at it, right up until his break, it looks like he's covered all the way. Okay. But, Fitzy trusted him that he was going to win. Okay. And he's worked with him, for a while, even though Ford's been in and out of the Dolphin organization the last, year or two. He's had that, ability to work with him and built that trust factor with him. So he knew, okay, I got to get rid of the ball now before he gets out of his break. Okay. And these are the things, this is that anticipation of, we talked about it last week of finding the hole in those intermediate throws and throwing to the hole and not necessarily looking at the man, but looking at the window. And trusting that your guy is gonna hit that window on time. Okay, and this is another example of it. Okay, where you see Tua just double hitch on it and not get the ball out on time. Ball ends up going high. Okay, then again, next interception. All right, this is another one. Those intermediate throws where you want to see Tua. Get back, and if he's throwing that intermediate throw, get on his front foot and rip it. Okay, but here you see Tua kind of sit on his back foot, and the ball again sails high on him. Now I don't know if he, it's hard to see on the broadcast footage. Okay, I have to see on the all 22 really what Gesicki was looking at, and it looked like they were a little bit off, not on the same page with the route. And with the angle of his route, Tua might have thought he was going to stay up the seam, and Gesicki cut it off a little bit more. Okay, but it was also just a matter of Tua throwing a little bit off his back foot, and I've seen that, from him at times. And I want to just see him, have that confidence to get back there, get his foot in the ground, and drive into his throw and really rip it, down the field.
And you know what? The All-22 will be interesting to see, specifically, much like last week in the Raiders breakdown. When Fitz came in, he let it rip when Gesicki was like right at shoulder pad length with the defender. There was zero separation at that exact moment of Fitz's arm going back. Yep. But as the ball intermediately got to Gesicki, it was perfect. And that's what we need to see develop.
Exactly, and you see that from Tua at times too. And here we're going to go back. First drive out of halftime. Okay, and this was Tua at his best. And these are this is a stretch right here where you say this is the guy that we drafted at number 5. Okay, this is the guy that we love. As our quarterback of the future. He's our franchise right now. Let's get him some weapons at number 3, number 18, your picks that you got next year, okay, to really expand this offense and get more explosive downfield, okay, and that's going to help him tremendously, okay, whether it's, a little bit more protection up front. And I think the offensive line did a great job all year long, with the young unit helping him out, okay, but down the field, getting those playmakers, getting one or two, extra guys that could stretch the field. Okay, kind of like I had from my 2000 season, where again we didn't have the that downfield playmaker in 2000, and then we drafted Chris Chambers in 2001. Okay, and you saw a big development in us being able to extend the field, get more downfield throws, get defenses to sit back a little bit and not not get 8-9 in the box, okay, and get them softer off of their man coverage, okay, when we were able to hit those big plays downfield. Okay, now here let's just go back. All right, here you got Tua. Okay, this is where he's on time. Okay, he's going to anticipate these throws, his foot in the ground, ball's out. All right, gets it right on Parker. As he's coming back to as he's looking back to the ball. Okay, great job right there. Okay, coming out at halftime, he knows exactly what he got. Parker wins it on the outside. He gets his foot in the ground, no hesitation, gets the ball out right on time. Okay, going on to the next play, same thing. Okay, he's going to hit Parker again on a little in route. Okay, but watch his feet in the pocket. 1, 2, 3, boom, get it out. Okay, he knew he had him on a little quick in route. Okay, he took one step, a little shuffle step, and ball was out right as he's coming out of his break. Okay, ball's on him. Okay, he's not waiting to see him come out of his break. The ball was out before Parker turned around. Okay, move it fast forward again. All right, and this was Tua's best throw of the day. Okay, 1, 2, 3, ball out. Okay, still a little bit off his back foot, which I'd like to see him get into it a little bit more. But great placement. Okay, gives Parker a chance on those 50-50 balls to go up. He's got the guy beat. Defender can't get his head around. Parker wins every single time on that.
If there was ever a moment ago to mention Chris Chambers, here it is. This is 84. This is Chris Chambers. And that was my favorite, Jay, when you would just trust in Chambers, let it rip, and that toe tap on the sidelines was his vintage play.
Yep, absolutely. So that stretch right there, 3 plays, with a guy that, we talked about when he first got in, okay, and we had Rondé Gadsden on with us talking about that relationship between quarterback and receiver, okay, and I think Tua feels most comfortable with Parker out there, and you can see that on those last 3 plays. I like to see him develop a little bit more the same feel that Fitzy has with Gesicki down the middle on those seam and downfield throws. Okay, to develop that a little bit more, and that's something that again, he's got to work on in the off season. He's got to continue to get a good feel for these guys. He's got to understand their body language coming out of breaks. He's got to work with them on timing of all their routes that they have in the offense. And just speaking on that, I know there's been a lot of talk about Chan Gailey and his offense, and I think it would be a disservice at this point to not keep the continuity with Tua of the same system, back to back. Okay, especially where he's at in his development. I'd love to see him stay in that same system, understand the system that much more, and be so much more comfortable coming out, to start the season next year with the same coordinator, with the same, mentality, with just a few more playmakers on the outside, to really expand the offense with it.
I'm really, really glad that you mentioned that, Jay, because I had 2 quick little stats I wanted to cue up that really, they don't mention Chan Gailey, but you have to correlate that to Chan Gailey, added to the fact that they're doing this with no playmakers, essentially. 7th, 6th, 5th rounders, undrafted guys, 2nd, 3rd tier guys on the roster. The Dolphins finished the season with 31 minutes and 16 seconds average time of possession per game, which was the team's best mark since 2009. That's very good. And
Yeah.
if we can go down one further, Jay, which I think this is a massively impressive stat considering everything, Miami had 345 first downs this season, tied for the second most since the Dan Marino-led 1991 team. And just to put a comparable, 361 first downs in 2014, 345 first downs in 1995. Same mark as this year with Chan Gailey's offense.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, like I said, I think, they have a lot of tools to work with, and they have a lot of assets right now to build, on that offense. With the amount of picks that they have coming up in the draft, they still have some cap room, this offseason to go after some free agents if they want to. They got a great culture that they've built over the past couple of years with Brian Flores. Right now it's Chris Greer's time. Let's see what he could do to continue to build this roster. Get some more playmakers here on offense. Get some more depth on the O-line. Maybe add a premier running back, to the mix in the backfield. And they got the makings of pretty talented offense going forward.
If you could match that amazing defense, young defense, with a growing, talented, playmaker-filled offense and a second-year quarterback and an offensive line filled of young talent, there's no reason for Dolphin fans to be upset. I'm very happy. I'm thrilled to be doing this show with you, as I mentioned before, Jay. We'll be back on Wednesday to cut some more in-depth tape. And until then, happy football training. I know you got some great stuff working out in Long Island. Anything on tap for you training-wise?
Yeah, could just continuing on with our winter workouts with all the local players here in Long Island. I've got a few college guys that are back home right now that I'm working with, doing a great job with our primetime camps, football training, and really building now that we got the new year going, 2021. We're got vaccines that are getting into arms, and lots of developments on that front. We're really looking forward to getting back to our summer camp business at Brookwood Camps. It's going to be a great season this summer, and we're excited to see our kids back out on our fields, on our courts, in our broadcast studio, and really getting that much needed experience of getting away, getting outside. Getting that social impact again.
100% well said. And of course, a happy and a healthy 2021 to everybody out there. Thank you for watching, for going on over to PhinManiacs.com. We got plenty more for you. It is mock draft season, not just Chris Greer, all of us fantasy GMs. We're going to have some fun playing GM. So thanks, Jay. We'll be back Wednesday. Have a good week, everybody.